I ain't worried about nothing, I ain't worried about nada. You're sitting pretty impatient, girl, I know you gotta put them in.
Good morning, all my beloved students. Welcome back to the online class. Alright, everyone, how are you today? Are you ready for the class? I know you are fine and you are all ready for the class, right? Good. So, as I told you many times already, so for, before the class, you have to prepare all the things that is the benefits for your study. Okay, make sure that everything is around you are clean. Okay, you are at the very comfortable place to listen, to study, to watch the video. Okay, good, and you have a good internet speed of in your smartphone, right? Good. So today actually is the other day, everyone. So we also study the other subject. Okay, but some subject. I can say there are two subjects for today. All right, good. So there is the blueprint and writing tutor, right? Good. So for this session, actually we are studying about the blueprint. Okay, good. And we also have something new for the blueprint for today. But before going into the new things, I would like to call out the old thing first. Okay, so actually in the previous, section, what did we learn, everyone? We learned about the lesson 2, right? Good. So we were in the lesson 2 already. But what did we learn specifically? Yeah, so we learned about the authentic text. Okay, so about the authentic text, what was the topic about? Okay, so the topic was about the art, right? The art of what? The art of filmmaking. Very good. So for all the authentic text, all the information that we got from the authentic text were very good, right? Good. Okay, so can you tell me, what is a fine art? What is the fine art, everyone? Very good. So the fine art is simply for the pictures, the painting, right? The sculpture. So all of this considered as the fine art. All right. And actually, what we learned from the authentic text that nowadays people try to use the high technology in order to produce film. And film is one of the art. Okay. For for the movies that we learned, actually some movie they provide some message, right? Some good message to people. For example, like Star Wars. Okay. So this movie provides some good message for people. And some other movie they provide only the entertaining. Okay, for example, like Fast and Furious and the Transformer movie. So this, this movie gives you the entertainment. Okay, so you like watching it because of the entertainment. Okay, so people still, still arguing about the Star Wars. For the Star Wars film, it was very popular in the past, actually. And for the Star Wars film, some people say it is the art of work, but some other people say it is not. Okay, it is not the art of work at all. People say it is the blockbuster, right? It make for money. It make for money only. Okay, so all of these are, the comments from public, from people. Okay, so right now, actually, we have to go into our, today lesson. So now let's go into the today lesson all together. Okay, so everyone, you have the book, you have the textbook with you, right? Good. So now please take out your textbook and turn to page 25 all together. So on page 25, you will see the grammar. Okay, the grammar on page 25, and this there is the past tense, right? The past tense. So on page 25, what you can see is the past tense and the past tense of what? Of simple past and past continuous, right? Good. So now let's take a look at the whiteboard all together. Okay. So like on the whiteboard, I have already written all the information from the textbook. So we got simple past, and the form of the simple past is subject, all right, plus verb to, okay, the past tense of verb, and plus object in the bracket. Sometimes it has the object, sometimes it's not. It depends on the verb, right? Good. Okay. Look at the the usage, and when do we use simple past? So we use simple past for the action completed in the past. Actually, simple past is the completed action in the past. It happened in the past, okay, and completed in the past. Things that were true in the past, all right? So actually, for the simple past, it really happened in the past and completed in the past, and it also was true in the past. But for now, we are not sure, okay, that's true or not. So let's go and see the example all together. So for the example here, you can see I say Star Wars popularized. So popularized here is the verb to, okay, because it has the, so it becomes verb to. Star Wars popularized science fiction. All right. So you can see this, like this sentence is a completed action. It happened in the past and already finished in the past already, right? And what one more thing that you can see is Star Wars popularized science fiction. This was true, okay? This sentence was true in the past, but now maybe not anymore, okay? Maybe the other movie, not Star Wars anymore. You got that, right? Good. The other sentence, we say it stole ideas from artistic films. You can see the word stole. Stole here comes from the word, is the past tense of verb steal, right? Steal. Okay, good. So this is actually the past tense sentence. All right. So now let's go into the other past tense is past continuous. So for past continuous, everyone, the form of past continuous, we have subject plus was or were, right? Plus was or were, and then plus what? Plus verb. Okay, the best form of verb, and then plus ing, and then plus object in the bracket. Has subject or not, it depends on the verb, right? Good. So look at the usage, everyone. We say actions happening at a specific time in the past. Actually, for the past continuous, are the actions that was happening in a specific time in the past, okay? Or and that continue for a significant time in the past. So actually, for this past tense, we also see that this is the past continuous. So actually, the action should be, and the action is, was happening. Actually, was happening in the past with a specific time. Remember that. And mostly with the past continuous, it lasts only a short time, not so long, right? Good. Look at the example. For example, I say we were living here in 2015. We were living here in 2015. Okay, so this actually this sentence actually happening in the past. So in 2015, we were living here. We were living here. This is just only a short of time. Okay, we do not stay here for a year or 2 years or 3 years. Okay, but we just know that in 2015, we were living here. And the action is also continuing. It's also happening. Look at the other example. It is show about the specific time. It say I was writing a letter at 10:15 last night. Okay, I was writing a letter at 10:15 last night. So like this sentence show about the action that was happening in the past with the specific time. 10:15 last night. It's very specific, right? Very specific, because if you just write only last night, we are not so sure when or what time. But now we also mention about the hours, and also the minutes, right? So it is very specific. Okay, good. So all of this are about the like the simple past and past continuous. Now let's go and see what happened if we combine the simple past and past continuous together. All right. So let's see. For this one, we say simple past and past continuous. All right. So for simple past and past continuous, we say the two tenses are often used together. Okay. So like for these two tenses, we can see people usually combine this sentence together to be one. Okay, to be one sentence. In these cases, a longer action described with the past continuous verb. Okay, the longer. Okay, a longer action described with the past continuous verb is often interrupted. Okay, it's often interrupted by a quicker action, and it described with the simple past. Okay, simple past verb. For example, I can say like I was teaching online class. Okay, I was teaching online class yesterday at 2 p.m. Okay, again, I was teaching an online class yesterday at 2 p.m. When, okay, when the light went off. So you can see, I was teaching. Actually, I was teaching. I was explaining the students. I was, teaching the students when the light went off. So the light went off is a short and a very quick action. That when it went off, it interrupts my teaching, right? Good. So normally when you use the past simple and past continuous together, normally past simple interrupt. Okay, interrupt past continuous. You got that, right? The other example, you can say, my mom was cooking when the bell rang. Okay, my mom was cooking when the bell rang. You got that, right? Good. So now let's go and see the example altogether. There are three examples actually. The first one we say, when the director, all these example sentences from we collect from the authentic text. When the director was filming, okay, so was filming, this is the longer action, right? Described by the past continuous. When the director was filming the most important scene, the star quit. The star quit. Okay? So quit go to past tense is still quit, right? Good. So this is the quicker action described by the simple past. You got that, right? You can see the simple past interrupt this action, was filming the most important scene. Okay? And the other example, we say the argument started when we were discussing whether Star Wars is a work of art or not. So you can see started. Started here is the past simple, and it is a quicker. Come to interrupt the longer action described by the past continuous here when we were discussing. So actually the argument started when we were discussing. So if you look at the line, like we were discussing like this. We were discussing. The argument started. So when the argument started, you stop discussing, right? You got that now? Okay, good. The last one. I was watching old movies on TV. Then I suddenly had a great idea for a script. So for this one, actually there are two sentences, two separated sentences. But you also can see the flow of the action, right? I was watching old movies on TV. So you was watching here. You was watching. Then I suddenly, you can see, suddenly had the idea. So when you're watching, and then you had the idea of the script, maybe you stop watching right there, and then you start writing the script. Okay, now you can see, what all of this mean, right? Good. So, I believe that you guys have learned and understood things, the grammar point from today. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask your home teacher about all of this point. All right, good. So I believe that this section should come to the end now. Okay, so let's see you guys for the next section. Goodbye.